Hello and welcome to Incomplete Geeks, a gay geek podcast where we talk about all sorts of geeky things. Sometimes we know a lot of what we're talking about. Other times our knowledge is a little bit
incomplete.
That's right. We are two gay guys just talking about geeky shit like we do all the time. My name is John. Over there is Nick. And thank you for listening. This is episode 47?
I didn't check. I forgot to check.
We're just launching right into it because it's like, all right, let's just do this. It's become a chore now.
Let's go. This was a bad idea. Well, it wasn't a bad idea.
Well, no, it wasn't a bad idea. It's just sort of
a bad TV show.
It's not. Our endeavor isn't as fruitful as we thought it would be, but it's not our fault. In case you're just tuning in for the first time, this is now we're talking about the TV show Secret Invasion on Disney Plus. No matter how we feel about Disney Plus right now, but
well, we feel the same way about Disney Plus that we do about all of them, I think. So
yeah, I especially hate Disney Plus because I don't hate them. I obviously am still going to give them money to watch all their stuff, but they're one of the two major ones that are canceling shows to write them off. Basically.
To write them off,
which is
Max, wasn't it? I think Discovery HBO one has done a lot of that just to get rid of it.
Was it Paramount was the other one? I don't remember because they're for
Paramount's doing it as well. All of them do it. Like HBO Max before it was Max got rid of a load of stuff.
Yeah,
just because then it saves them money or whatever. It's just claiming a loss rather than
they can claim that it's not earning money, so they can claim it as a write-off and pay less tax, which is so stupid. It's so stupid as a consumer. I'm watching these things. I've gotten rid of all my DVDs, so I thought, it's just going to be available to stream somewhere. I got to go back to my college days and start downloading things illegally again, which I never really.
Which we would never do. Of course,
that's a joke. I never did that. No.
Never done that.
But yes, so we're talking about the TV show Secret Invasion. This episode, we're going to talk about episode 5 that came out today, our penultimate episode. And boy, oh boy, do I have thoughts. And I'm sure you do too.
Do you? Do you actually have thoughts?
Here's my major thought. We're going to jump in right away. My major thought is this should have been
Give me your thoughts.
This should have been a movie. It should have been a film. It feels like a movie that's been stretched out with irrelevant scenes and made into a 6-part TV show. Like it could have done like
2 episodes. Yeah. Two of the episodes have had stuff in them so far.
Yeah.
The first one and some of this one.
Some of this one. Even though this one was also a bit short, it kind of stuff still happened. And more so than like the previous 2, for example.
Ugh. Yes. That's for sure.
But the thing is, like, the very end of the episode, which is what I'm going to talk about first, is basically like first of all, he answers some questions that we've been having. Like, why not? Why have we not got the Avengers in? Why is Fury not called any of his superhero friends? And also, like, what's his fucking deal? Like, what is he doing? Now that we kind of have an idea, well, at least we have an answer. We know what he's doing. He's just kind of like, it's personal. Like, fine. Whatever you think about whether or not that's
the oldest bullshit trope in the book. It's
like,
I've got to do this on my own. Why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why?
But at least
we don't have the budget for Chris Hemsworth. Okay.
Or Anthony Mackie or Sebastian Stan or anybody who could have done something. Or they could afford Don Cheadle, so that's one thing.
That's true.
But at the very end of it, we finally
I like Don Cheadle. I just don't like his character. It's boringly written.
In this show.
All of it. I think he's boring anyway. I think the highlight of the show was the conversation between Samuel L. and Don Cheadle, where he fired him.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah, the one in the restaurant. I think that's like actual acting. That and Olivia. But,
yes.
We could have gone from like Maria being killed, that argument, some Olivia, and now he's starting. He's like, right, let me suit up. This is the start of the movie. And why
exactly
episode 5? This is the start. Here's my stash and some finished Mausoleum. Sounds the same.
See, I'm usually failing at words, but I got you back this time.
Thank you.
Yeah, this should have been like, this is like the midway of the movie. Like, he
Yeah.
finally gets his shit together and gets his stuff.
Let's go. Yeah.
Imagine if this was a film. Okay, you've got secret invasions happening. Okay, aside from our complaint about there's no spy shit, which we will talk about, but we still have that complaint now. Beginning of it, the tracking down, cameo by Everett Ross. He turned out to be a Skrull. That's the intro.
Yeah.
And then you have Maria Hill and Nick Fury. He beats down. They meet in like a Russian bar, and they find, oh no, there's a bomb going to happen, and they have like, Guy is going to be part of it. Whatever. Shit blows up. Maria Hill gets shot at the beginning of the film. Then
that's the opening bit. That
could be the opening bit, yeah. Like, boom, set it off. Then now Nick Fury's on a mission of revenge. Almost, it's like, get to the bottom of this. Talos is going to help. He's got his daughter, but is she really helping? I don't know. The Gravik is kind of double crossing, and then maybe he he tries to go after the president in like maybe like an Act 2 kind of actiony bit, and Fury is there to save it, and maybe Talos dies in like a sort of maybe it feels more like a martyr.
I think it would have been more satisfying if Talos died in the film, right?
Yeah, like because you're like, oh wow, okay, well this is significant then. It's just more, it's just not significant. And then if Emilia Clarke dies, and you're like, hang on, she got shot. Like, what? That's weird. And then we have to wait a week to know that was just a twist that she's
and we all knew it was just a bit because it's Emilia Clarke. So.
And then it's like more exciting, and then now we're halfway through, and Nick Fury finally puts his eye patch back on. Like, that's supposed to be like his sort of status thing again. He gets a gun, puts on a jacket. Great. Oh, and he's in the beginning, he's like revealed to have had a wife, and we're like, okay, that's an interesting sort of reveal. And then the wife turns out to be sort of not who he thought she was, although it's not a surprise to us. This could have been a film. Why was this not a film? Because now we're in the sort of the final ramp up to the climax about what's going to happen with whatever Gravik is planning. Like, this whole thing, he should have been planning a lot more. It's just his whole plan, this whole series has been like, just cause a war. And he's been going at it so slowly.
So slowly. And he's still not done it.
I mean,
do something.
Let's compare it to other TV shows. Like, at least at the high point of Disney TV shows, the high point is WandaVision. Every single episode was different. It was intriguing. You focus on two characters and their relationship, and the big question is, what the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. And that's what kept bringing you back. And then there were smaller characters that pop up. You don't know what their point is, what their goal is, what they're trying to get at. You don't know how they interact. And then that mystery kind of slowly unravels as you watch the TV show. Each episode is different. Even if you look at a show like Loki, which you didn't like, I know, but was that 6 or 8 episodes? I don't remember. But even then, each episode was distinct. You had this was about this, but this one was set on the exploding island. This one is set in the afterworld where we discover what's his face, Jonathan Majors at the end. Everything is sort of uncovered, unraveled. Things are revealed each episode, and then you come to Secret Invasion, and it's just a long, drawn-out drama with a few gunfights in between, and nothing spy-related except for the font of the fucking location, words, whatever.
Yeah.
Was there something like every spy thing they do, they're just doing it wrong? We talked about the breaking into the hotel thing. Oh, here's another thing I can share with you as well that I read or heard somewhere. There's a thing about when you write, especially when you write a piece of drama or action, whatever. There's a rule called show don't tell.
Yes, and
there's a lot of telling in this series. You have, instead of seeing Fury break into the hotel room, he's just there. I broke into it. Instead of showing us how Nick Fury was impacted by the blip, we're just told over and over again, "You're different since the blip." It's like,
would have loved to see some scenes of that.
Yeah.
Side note, show don't tell. Rewatching Voyager compared to like the new Star Trek, old Star Trek, very much tell because they didn't have the budget or the CGI. Yeah. It's like emitting a photon forward blast, no effect. They just tell you what happens. Whereas like in Strange New Worlds, it's like, take us in for 1/4% impulse, all that kind of stuff. And then you go outside the ship and you see it because obviously they had the CGI and budget. Whereas in Voyager, it's like, shaky, shaky, shaky. No effect, Captain. It's like, great. I love it. It's like a stage radio play or whatever. Anyway, sorry.
I like your little...
Voyager. soon.
We're not on Voyager. Yes, nice little foreshadowing hint to what we're going to be talking about in the next couple episodes.
We will get back to like fun geek stuff once this show is done. But we've committed, and we are finishing it next week.
We are nothing if we're not committed.
So they're after the Avengers DNA, right? So he wanted that rather than Groot's and whatever the thingies and Obsidian, whatever.
Obsidian, call Obsidian, who got name checked.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. So the Avengers DNA is in one vial? What?
That's what I thought too. It's like it's all just mushed together.
Mushed together.
I suppose you don't need a lot of it. Like
I guess,
but
they're just swimming around. They got to pull one out. Like this one is Hulk. Okay, put that one.
Like you can see over here. Oh, Carol! There you go.
That's Carol. It's glowing. Or there's like tiny tubes inside or something. As soon as it came out, I was like, okay, we've got a MacGuffin now. Something to fight over. That's what also
is that what a MacGuffin means?
MacGuffin is just sort of it's like a put me on the spot back of my training. It's like an object or a device or even sometimes it's usually like a prop that the plot revolves around and all the characters are going after for some reason.
Okay.
Like a nuclear football kind of thing. It's just it's just an object that this is what they're after. We have to stop them from getting it, but we have to protect it. But it's also got useful power, whatever.
So Olivia did the work for us first by saying, "Why haven't you called in any of your Avengers?" Because we're all like, "Meh."
Yeah.
But then after that, she's like, "So this is what he wants, and he's going to use it to start World War III. So you're going to give it to him?"
Yeah.
And he is.
He was like, yeah. Like, the thing is about Fury, he's not a spy. Like, I know he's not, the character's not a spy, but the show is a spy thriller. He's just saying what he's doing. Again, show, don't tell. He's just doing something. He's just saying that he's just
But, like, why?
But, like, why?
Why are they going to take that to him?
Or he learns a secret, and then he immediately sort of tells people about the secret. Or he tells the person he knows the secret about that he knows the secret.
Sorry, no, I'm jumping back and forth here, but it's all coming screaming back to me now. It's like such an anticlimactic way to reveal that he knew Rhodey was a Skrull. Like, I was waiting for it in that scene in the hotel for him to, like, you know, confront Rhodey about the fact that I know you're a fucking Skrull. But then he's like, just, you know, Rhodey's a Skrull, like talking to the president while he's unconscious. It's not the Russians, it's the Skrull. Rhodey's a Skrull, don't trust him. It's just such an uncharismatic way to do it.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like something that Fury would do. Someone who's faked his own death and is able to do all this crazy shit. He just sort of like just picks up the president, puts him in his car and drives him to the hospital. And then whispers in his ear. Yeah, that was weird.
And it's definitely, some people say Talos, some people say Talos. So, you know.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
It's not us that's always wrong. So what's going to happen next episode?
Well, if we, I think it's worth mentioning, now that we've complained about the main things, a couple of interesting things. First of all, the fight, the sort of gunfight with Gaia and Priscilla in her home, that was kind of cool.
That was badass. That was fun.
Yeah.
But again, more of this shit. But
yeah. I was like, okay, something's happening, and even though it's a big sort of action-y sequence, fine, they put work into this. It looked good. The fact that the world now knows that there are a lot of that Skrulls exist, like that, there wasn't a lot made of that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here's a picture from the Daily Star.
Yeah, or like something on the news. We don't have, the thing is about like spy thrillers is because they're so international and the scope is so big, and yet all we learn about this this reveal that the Skrull was being helped by this soldier, which people don't know that is Gravik, whatever, is like a news report, and then we see the president see it. We don't see what is happening like on a global scale. Are people reacting to this? Surely some Avengers would react to this or something like that. But there's nothing. Everything's such a small scale, and it shouldn't be such a small scale. Like, I get that there's some
very focused. Yeah, it's not like
some spy shit is more like interrogative. That can be small, but like if you're revealing to the planet that aliens have been infiltrating us for 20, 30 years, whatever. Like, we should know how the world is replying to that.
It should have an impact on the universe going forward. It will change unless they all get wiped out or taken off of Earth at the end of the next episode. It should have a huge impact on the world in 616 or whatever. It's actually 19999, isn't it?
Or just wipe everyone's memory.
Oh, God.
1999.
999. It should make a huge difference. Like in the next TV show or the next film, people are going to be untrusting because there's a million fucking scrolls wandering around, that sort of thing.
Well, we've talked about this before, but isn't the next thing the Loki TV show? And then after that is the Marvel's film. And I'm sure that Loki TV show is not really going to mention Skrulls. I mean, it's unlikely that it's going to be about it. So they have time to sort of work with how the world reacts and how we as viewers react to this news, kind of how this change in the MCU. But you're completely right. Something's going to happen next episode where there's got to be some reaction to it, some way that the game changes, which I think is why the end of Infinity War was so good, is because we're used to these hero films, being the hero sort of takes on the bad guy at all times, and then suddenly the bad guy wins, and then the game.
But it also does a great thing of it's a good pop point because they reference it so frequently in other projects. What an impact it had. You flash back to seeing people reacting or living, obviously Endgame was living without half the population, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We're not going to say this TV show should be the same as Infinity War. Obviously it's not, but it could have been without having to be, I don't know. Anyway, disappointing.
It could have been. And it
could have been. They're just rushing to a next big bad. They're rushing to try and do Kang, which I think is not going to happen now because of him and the actor strike. Everything's going to be pushed back. I don't know if it's going to be the same coming out of this. But they rushed for that, and this could have been a nice, cool thing that happened in different episodes, and then it turns out what? There was a Skrull in there? That would have been sick. But they didn't do that, so there's no point in wishing for that. It is done. They rushed to this.
We know that She-Hulk. I do crap on She-Hulk TV show a lot, but we know that wasn't going to change anything in the MCU. But even then, those episodes, individual episodes, were distinct in a way. There was they focused on a case. It was a different kind of genre of TV show. It was meant to be a fun legal type drama, and then
it still could have been better.
It still could have been better for sure.
Somewhat disappointed. I did like She-Hulk,
but it knew. I did like it, but it did know that it wasn't trying to be. I knew what it was. It wasn't trying to be this big game changer. Secret Invasion you can't help but be a game changer if you're going to reveal that there's a million Skrulls on Earth.
Anyway,
so
what's going to happen next week in the finale? What do we think?
I think that I don't know. I've sort of lost all hope now. The tiredness in your voice is coming through.
I know.
Next week we're gonna record on a normal day because you're away for a day, aren't you? You're away. We usually record on Wednesdays, so. So we're gonna get back into our routine of recording great episodes for all y'all who are listening.
We are still going to talk about the finale. What's going to happen?
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just sort of okay, is he going to be suddenly badass now because he's got his eye patch back or something like that?
I generally don't know how they can make it badass now.
I don't know either. But also, we kind of saw the extremis happening when he was healing his hand and his face, and we saw the Groot arms. We saw a bit more Groot arms in this episode as well. Nothing in regards to Colobsidian, unless there's one moment where here's something we could mention. Some of the Skrulls are rebelling against Gravik. That one guy who, there was also, I thought it was because there was one punch that Gravik did to the other guy, which could have been he could have like transformed his fist into a column seating fist or something. I'm not even sure. It was so fast. It was kind of dark. But what is that going to have any impact? Like, do you think Gaia is going to come back and sort of take over? Like, not take over, but sort of like get back people on her side? Like, no, we can't do this. We have to make another way. I don't even know what her plan is.
I don't know. At this point, who gives a shit? Like, I don't know how you know, the options are they get rid of Gravik, but they're still around, and like she kind of like, I'm gonna find all the Skrulls and like unite us or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That could be one thing. What's his goal? To try and be Super Skrulls and start World War III? And he's got 1 episode and 40 minutes to do it in. And he hasn't done anything yet.
Or 33. We don't know.
Yeah.
He wants to take over the planet so that Skrulls can live on the planet because
I was going to nuke everyone and they can survive because they're immune to radiation.
Yeah. See, I forgot about that. That's a good point.
I did.
He's going to get humans to nuke each other and bring them to the
and then they'll be fine.
Yeah. But the thing is, he's got such grand goals. Again, it feels like everything is done on a small scale.
Yeah, it doesn't feel big and foreboding.
Talking in a meeting room,
talking on a phone. Yeah,
talking on a phone, talking in a car, talking with a president in a hospital room. One gunfight on one random street in backwoods Britain. I don't know.
Yeah. So stay tuned for this exciting conclusion.
You've come along this far.
A Secret Invasion series recap
for the whole series. I'll tell you what. One good thing about this is that if anybody wants to, if anybody's watching Secret Invasion and all in one go, going to binge it all, then they can binge all 4 episodes and it won't take them that long.
No,
because our episodes are also very short.
It won't be an emotional labor either.
It won't be emotional.
It won't be an emotional labor either. It'll be like, nothing happens.
Yeah, but they're gonna listen to. They're gonna be like,
nothing happens.
Yeah, they're gonna watch an episode and be like, what the fuck? Did I miss something? And listen to us, and then we're gonna confirm that
they'll be like, nothing happened.
And then the person who listens is like, oh right, okay, yeah. If you're that person, write in. Is there anything else you want to say about this episode?
I honestly have nothing else to say. I just want it. I want it over. I want it over and done with.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we can add that we haven't already said on a previous episode.
Like, there's no way they're gonna like, I don't know what's the phrase, like, pull a rabbit out of a hat or whatever and surprise us in the final episode. There's no indication to think that. I will say I love Olivia Colman just being Olivia Colman, shooting people. More of that, please. We didn't need anybody else.
That was a good
shooting people.
That was a good scene where she shoots the redhead guy in the leg.
Who the fuck was the redhead guy?
I guess
I don't know.
She does have a line later where she's like, "My scaly boss is no longer
boss,
so I'm now
so that
in
was
charge."
Her boss?
I guess he's listed in the credits as Derek with an I, and
Derek with an I.
Derek with an I. But
nothing.
You see him very briefly in the very first episode when he bugs the owl. And you see her talking to him. But we forgot something.
No. What?
This is slightly exciting actually. When Fury gets a plane to Finland, guess who shows up?
That guy.
The guy. Where's that guy from?
Black Widow.
Black Widow. That's it. That's all I had.
That was the exciting thing.
I was like, oh, who's this? Bit of a surprise cameo. And I was like, is that the guy from Black Widow? And I looked it up and it is. It's the guy who's helping. I don't understand what he's doing. Like, he's just so random. But
what's he doing? Why does he have access to all this stuff and planes and,
no idea.
A jet and him a plane and all that kind of shit.
And no one is saying thank you. That's so rude. I don't think she did either.
So rude. No, she definitely didn't. I don't know.
I think she will. What's he going to do? It's a random cameo.
I just don't know anymore. Don't know.
So tune in next week for our thrilling conclusion. Wrap up of this.
It could just be 2.5 minutes of us going like, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. And then we'll do that. That would be hilarious. But then we have to be like, we'll have to have a proper episode after that. Surprise! We're not talking about Secret Invasion. We're talking about, I don't know, some geek thing. We're talking about
it's
Star Trek again.
It's San Diego Comic-Con next week.
Is that still going ahead?
Yeah, but it's going to be quite lackluster because obviously no actors can be there. It's nothing to stop like comic book people being there, which I suppose is the whole point. But no actors can be there, or obviously writers.
Can comic book writers be there, or are they?
Yeah, because it's Screen Actors. What is it? The Writers Guild of America. I don't think that includes comic book writers, but I'm not
maybe some crossover for some people, but I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. We'll find out. Oh God, that's depressing.
No comics for until the strike. Wouldn't that be hard?
Well, oof.
Don't think about it.
Ugh.
We'll mention it.
If anything interesting comes out of it, we'll find out.
And we will go there one year if you, dear listener, can help us sign up to our Patreon and give us $1 an episode, whatever.
Just kidding. Like and subscribe, share.
Yeah, we don't have a Patreon.
These aren't the ones to share. These aren't the episodes to share with your family. If I'm honest, this has been an exercise in futility. We all buckled down through this together and got through this disappointing time. Yeah,
but we're charismatic in spite of we're charismatic and what's the word that says you can talk very well? I don't remember because I can't do it right now. I was trying to be irony. I was trying to be tongue in cheek. We're charismatic, eloquent. Yes, thank you. We're eloquent.
Are we?
Obviously, I'm not. I'm just sort of like over. I'm a little bit over it. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm a little over it at the moment.
Oh God, yeah. It's only one more. If it was like The Witcher, where it's like 13 episodes more, which we haven't done The Witcher because I have not watched it.
Should we do The Witcher? We should do The Witcher.
We can do, but I don't want to have to watch it.
I've not watched the third season yet, so.
Did you watch the second one?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you can leave that.
Sure. Wait, is this the third season still going on? I don't remember.
Yes.
We'll talk about our plans.
Sorry, this is so boring for you guys. Let's cut that bit out.
Whatever. So I mean, if you saw something that we didn't talk about, if we missed something, do let us know. You can contact us on the emails are in. What's wrong with me today?
Podcast@gmail.com. We're also on social, TikTok and Instagram @IncompleteGeeks. If you like this show, please tell us what we're missing. But it does seem that no one is talking about this show or no one is watching this show. It is not the big hype that we'd expected. But let us know if you think otherwise. We'd love to hear your point of view.
I think there are some people who love this show. And for whatever reason, please tell us. Like, let us know what it is about it. Like, are our expectations too high? Like, what are we missing? Are we just expecting the wrong thing? Let us know. Write in incompletegeekspodcast@gmail.com. I'm repeating it because I think I spoke over you before. Follow us on the socials and stay tuned to give this episode. Tell us what you want to hear from us in terms of episodes. We love hearing from you. But we'll try our best. We'll do our research when we can. We don't know everything because we do get stuff wrong. Because, in fact, in spite of us wanting to be, we're not complete geeks.
But we are working on it.
But thanks for listening this time.
Thanks again. Thanks for sticking with us.
See you next time.
Bye. Stay tuned.
Oh, dear. Yeah, well, I watched it this afternoon, so I'll have to refresh my memory, etc.
Oh God, I hope you're not expecting me to refresh your memory.